Today we are looking at Y Combinator. This deep dive and case study video will tell us why it's arguably the world's most prestigious startup accelerator in the world. Names like Airbnb, Stripe have been some of its unicorn successes. And in this video, we'll take a look. Do you have a startup idea? Are you someone who wants to help build a startup? Or do you already have a business but need partners to help make a true breakthrough for success? This is Felix Powerteams and we build Power Teams. For those of you that don't know, Y Combinator is a startup accelerator and it's been around for many years. What is Y Combinator as somebody that has never heard of it? What is Y? Y Combinator is the world's most famous startup accelerator. It invests a small amount of money, usually around $5,000, into early stage startups, and in exchange, it helps them grow extremely fast over a 3-month program. Think of YC as like this Harvard plus Shark Tank plus Business Bootcamp all in one. YC, as it's abbreviated, does 4 main things. They give startups money, so $500,000. They teach founders how to build a real company. They create an environment where founders can't lose. They connect startups to investors. And then here's a cool list. YC has created some of the biggest companies in the world, including Airbnb, Dropbox, Stripe, Coinbase, Reddit, DoorDash, and OpenAI. So ChatGPT, this software that I'm using right now, is a product of Y Combinator in some way. Why it matters to Power Teams. So Y Combinator's models proves one thing: teams outperform solo founders. So if you are a entrepreneur with a startup idea, don't do it alone. Do it with a founder. There's more benefits to doing it with the founder than an opportunity cost. You're not gonna lose much. You really are not. It's better to succeed with a multiple than to win a zero-sum game or a very small mediocre game. YC almost never accepts single founders startups. Makes sense. This is exactly why Power Teams are powerful. You're recreating the successful system YC uses. So with Power Teams, we're creating partnership-based building, shared roles, support ecosystem, accountability, community learning. YC accelerates companies. Power Teams accelerates people and companies. So we believe in Power Teams that people are the prime asset. It's not money and it's not resource capital. It's not even intangibles like time and goodwill. People have the ability to think of things and create extraordinary products and services. You create a book, it's all in your mind. You create a business with an angle, that's Airbnb. You create something inside your consciousness, and your spirit, and everything that you've experienced helps you create these things that you probably would have a hard time developing by yourself, but we want to cultivate that. We want to accelerate that. We don't want to limit you. We will create roadmaps, copy paste, businesses that are out there working. So Y Combinator, the big differences between Y Combinator and Power Team is that Y Combinator bets $500,000 in investment for a percentage of their company as long as they fit a unicorn potential return on investment, meaning they're betting on companies that can produce a yearly revenue of $100 million or more. Eventually, they become billion-dollar companies, which is what they call unicorn companies or businesses. Power Team doesn't care too much for that at the moment. What we want is to give people power, their freedom, their peace, their control in life. If that means we're copying and pasting $1 million businesses to as many people as possible, that's what we want. Or if you can, build millions of dollars in something that already exists, that's what it's all about. And luckily, we don't have to be unicorns. We don't have to be unique in that we are able to duplicate a success pattern and allow for a much higher percentage of success in the end. So instead of going out of business like the average 2 to 5 year businesses that shut down, for the most part, almost 100%, I would like to make it almost 100%. We all succeed in the next 2 to 5 years. So now what's next on the list? Website and intro. So Y Combinator, like any good online business, has their website. So Y Combinator. What's crazy is that Y Combinator has percentage ownership of all their unicorns, and I don't believe they are a publicly traded company. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they are publicly traded. Their companies are. Make something people want is all the essence of building a startup with the added quality that it can become a billion-dollar business or a unicorn. They funded over 5,000 startups, which is a huge amount. Oh, and look at this combined valuation, 800 billion. That's crazy. So some of the top YC companies: Stripe, Airbnb, Dropbox, Reddit. You guys might know a lot of these. There's Twitch, OpenAI with Chat GPT should be here somewhere. What else did they say? We help founders make something people want, and the result speaks for themselves. Okay. Inside the most powerful startup community in the world.
In 2005, 4 people came together to make something new. They thought, if we bring together smart technologists and give them a little bit of money and a really good community, it would give founders a huge advantage. And out of that first Y Combinator batch came startups that continue to touch hundreds of millions of people. Starting a company would never be the same again. Not so lonely, and also not so fraught. You do it together.
So they had a great idea. This unicorn itself, also Y Combinator is a unicorn business or company. They didn't want to segregate companies doing things by themselves and try to launch this startup out in the wilderness, out by themselves, lack of resource, lack of an environment for support, like most of us have, like I have in the past. I'm 33 years old, so we've all who have wanted to start a business at some point have probably done it alone and have seen how hard it is. That shit's annoying. It's super hard. It brings tears to your eyes, all the effort, quite literally almost blood and sweat to a opportunity, a startup that just doesn't manifest itself. So don't do it alone. So they created programs where they would have startups come together.
With all the other most eminent people of your generation starting companies too. Today, Y Combinator funds hundreds of companies at a time, and it's the only place in the world that produces generational companies like Stripe, Airbnb, Coinbase, and a whole lot more, again and again and again. That's not normal, but nothing about YC really is. YC is the most powerful startup community in the world. So what's the secret? What's it like to be at YC? And is it right for you? I know.
So they're the most powerful startup in the world, which is why a lot of people want to be associated with them. However, devil's advocate, that also means that they are swallowing the market, like all the potential unicorn businesses still out there to be developed are going towards Y Combinator because they are the market leader player in this game. So maybe they could have gone through other terms and other conditions and other investments, but because of its popularity, they're gravitating towards going towards them. It's just interesting that they become the popular option. It'd be cool if Powerteam could be that competitor to Y Combinator, but I would need partners for that. So if you got that craziness to turn the world upside down or right side up, however you see it, I'd be interested in meeting you.
It was right for me. Let's get started. YC is the only place in the world I've seen where a startup founder can learn to move at the speed they need to. Here's what Brian Chesky of Airbnb said about speeding up.
We basically decided for 3 months, Nate would move from Boston to San Francisco, and we wake up at 8 o'clock. We go to bed at midnight, 7 days a week. We work from 8 to midnight every single day. And that dedication for 3 to 4 months created this real serious rhythm where we weren't doing other things. We were totally focused.
The goal of YC, the entire reason why we exist, is to help startups really take off. For 3 months, it's all startups all the time. Everyone around you, group partners, and the other founders in your batch, the alumni, the speakers, we all want to help you succeed at your startup. That kind of speed up Airbnb got out of YC is something you can't buy. You can't get it from an investment round or going to a tech startup conference. Moving fast is just one part of the game. YC is the best place in the world to learn how to get product market fit, which is that magical moment where your startup goes from idea to a reality that could set the world on fire. Being able to make your way through the idea.
Yes, so product market fit when you're a unicorn is very difficult. It are going through a lot of pivots, and a lot of the times you are unexperienced with building companies or startups, so you don't know how to actually get validation. Power team doesn't want to do that. For the most part, what we want to do is create existing successes. So, services, construction, online services, hybrid services. These services already exist out there. Let's copy paste them. Let's put it in a tangible, actionable roadmap and guide and help the environment. So in 3 months, we're producing profit. We're producing revenue that covers profit. Yes, they are unicorns, but what we want isn't at that degree. We can do this a lot tangible. It doesn't require the 500K. And most of the time, these unicorns need investment to make their products and services possible, because it's millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that it takes to actually create that MVP or that market viable product.
Ways, pivoting when it makes sense, listening to what the market and your customers are telling you, and finding product market fit
A product
are
market
all
fit.
things that I think YC is unusually good at. In fact, finding a $1 billion market of this sort has already happened at YC over 90 times.
$1 billion market 90 times.
So how do you actually do it? How do you start
Wow.
a startup and get product market fit
That's
and
impressive.
have it touch 1 billion people? It turns out when you're surrounded by people who have built things, magic happens. At YC, you get a bunch of things that add up to a big deal. First, you get dedicated group partners who have worked with hundreds of companies and started companies of their own. When you see that much, you can do a lot to prevent unforced errors. The partners can spot patterns of success and failure and provide personalized advice in office hours, on Slack, and through a written startup manual that only YC founders get access to. Then you get brilliant batchmates, other startup founders who are learning right beside you, and you'll learn so much from them. Smart people who have already tackled similar challenges, and they're there to help you get ahead. And it's not just your batch, you get access to the YC alumni, of which there are.
So yes, there are very smart people and people with success track records. I'll take that to a more leveled grain. Take it with a grain of salt. Both you and I have skills, expertise, knowledge, and experience that can help someone else. So whether that is a partner down the road or someone with information that's unique, we can do that. We don't need to be in this YC program. I'm not a YC alumni, so I wouldn't be able to say 100%. But I can tell you something about being a project manager for construction, for commercial, for residential. I can tell you a little bit about what I've experienced. And if you're, interested in starting a business, a startup, you're probably leaning towards your expertise and knowledge. If you are a maker, a developer, then you would use your expertise and knowledge to help build those startups as well. And a lot of these startup founders, they are fresh, they are green, they don't necessarily have the skills, but they get so much support. And let's be that support. If you're a mentor, if you're a coach, if you are somebody that can guide us to a success, there's someone in Power Team that can help someone else, and maybe it's you that helps someone else. Maybe you're the one who gets help from someone else. So take it with a grain of salt. Power Team will be a mentorship. It will be able to give you guidance. There's mentors that help you almost with like life coaching, but for business, there are coaches that believe in you, push you, may not be experts in the field, but they are pushing you. They know how to get the most out of you. And then there are experts who we would, you would sometimes pay a keynote expert that makes a speech, charges a fee. But there are experts out there that we would be looking for. Come be an expert for us. Come be an expert for Power Team. Come be a mentor for Power Team. Come be a coach for Power Team.
Over 9,000 now in the world, Almost every geography, every sector, and every kind of go-to-market has a YC alum who has been there, done that, and could help you. You'll meet both batchmates and alumni through our private social network online called Bookface. 1 in 3 YC alums use it every single day, and it's home to the most pressing technical and business questions out there. Things that you won't be able to Google to find out. The founder directory makes it easy to ask any alum for advice and intros, and the company directory makes it easy to find customers. YC is always evolving, and we've added
That's
tons
a
of
very
programs to help your
good
startup.
IP asset.
YC is more than just a
That asset to be able to have that people connection, that relationship, that sort of alumni fellowship, either brotherhood, sisterhood, like people would do with colleges and things like that, is very big. And what if we have a successful power team member who becomes a big support system for many others like that? Why not? Why can't we build this? I think we can. It's information is free, but people are the asset, and that's what Power Team's all about. People.
3-month program. Programs like Work at a Startup have sent over 150,000 candidates to startups that went through YC and placed more than 1,000 employees so far. Finally,
that's pretty cool to be able to place opportunities and employees together from your own startups or accelerated startups. That's awesome. So yeah, maybe you already have a business and you're looking for somebody that helps with admin, with commerce, with tech, with production, with distribution. Hey, hire from us. you know, maybe there's a partner out there that has that entrepreneurial spirit, or maybe it's an entrepreneurial spirit inside your business. Not everybody is willing to take the risk of just betting on a business startup. Maybe they're betting on someone else's bet on that startup. So look for people that are willing to work hard for you and your power team.
Of course, YC gives you money. It's $125,000 for 7% and a $375,000 uncapped safe with MFN on top. So a total of
125 or 7%. Betting on a unicorn, that's actually a great deal for Y Combinator. 300 and was it 50 or 375,000 on a MFN? I forget the acronym, but it means it favors the highest next investment, which is where they execute that dollar amount to that ratio of that investment. So when you fund and your company is worth X amount of millions of dollars to raise investment, and they give you some money and take some percentage. My belief is that $350,000 correlates to that investment round as well as a percentage, which is the I gotcha. Like it's more than 7% at that point, what they're willing to take.
$100,000, which is plenty to help you get to product market fit to that next level. On top of that, you get over $500,000 worth of deals only for YC startups. Discounts and offers on everything from hosting, cloud services, and almost everything you need to run your business. YC is great for early teams right when you're ready to get started. You don't need a demo or first version of the product, but it often helps. I want you to apply to Y Combinator. We help founders make something people love, and the results show. A crazy double-digit percentage of the companies that matter apply to YC, and 66% of those companies had YC as their very first investor. So there's no such thing as too early for us. You can apply at ycombinator.com/apply. If you ask me, that's the one URL that has created more wealth and prosperity than any other than I can think of in the world. It changed my life, and I hope we get a chance to change yours too.
That's awesome. The number one URL that's helped change the world. Let's make Powerteam another URL that can change the world. Interesting story. I applied to YC Combinator in spring of 2025, and I'll look for that video and upload it to YouTube and put it as unlisted. So I'll drop the link below so you guys can find it through that link. But it was a great experience. My company, startup idea is called Powerteam Contractor. If you look at that video and you want to partner up to build it, make it happen, let's do it. Because I was trying to do it solo and that does not work. that shit does not work. Okay, YC is run by startup founders who have built exactly what they wanted when starting and growing a startup. The people that are talking, like the guy who just talked, he had a startup and he must have exited the company, like he must have sold at some point. They sell for millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and I guess they leave the company or they work with the company but not as much. But I believe, and I might be wrong, but the next thing they do is come to YC and become like teachers, mentors, tutors, partners, where they must have some sort of deal and incentive to do this, because there's a bunch of them, like a bunch. And I've put over like 20 hours, maybe even getting close to 100, maybe even over 100 hours of YC video watch time. Founders interest first. We don't take a board seat, which is awesome. We don't demand 20% of your company. Let's hope not. We don't take weeks, months to decide to invest. That's actually really cool. They get your application, and as long as you're within the application due date, they'll review it and give you a reply. And then if you get an interview from that application, it's supposed to be a 10-minute interview, which you are then told you have been selected to be in the cohort or not, which is super awesome. Like literally within that day, you might get investment or accepted in, or maybe even a week. It might take a few days for them to make a vote, but it's immediate. It's really quick. We don't charge fees. That's good. We don't require decks, business plans, or MBAs. That's even better. Powerteam doesn't either. We don't tell you what to do. We only offer advice. So that is good. I mean, honesty and transparency are the real way to find truth and enlightenment. And if your business is to make something people want and make things that people want to buy, you will sell and you will make a lot of money. But it's got to be honest. It's got to be truthful. It's got to be with integrity, because if you do something sketchy and shady, it's a lawsuit. But sometimes the lack of knowledge has made people go into lawsuits, or crooks, people that want to make money without creating anything but taken away from others. Is just not what we're about. And Powerteam will default to the partnership shared equity route. So we don't expect one person to monopolize the company and that person treats you or treats any of its partners unfairly to the point that they become a huge success and partners in that company aren't fairly compensated or fairly treated or fairly rewarded, because it's a power team. It's not a dictatorship. All right, here's some cool stuff. The latest from YC. They have a huge YouTube video catalog. Startup School. I was working in Startup School. That's basically their free online accelerator program. It's supposed to model what they teach you on those 3 months in person, but this is a do-it-yourself type of situation. So it's a great course. If you guys are serious about going through their course, this will be a great course. And here's an idea. Why not we create a power team modeled YC startup school course that uses their course or a very similar course and just teach their methods, which would create millions of dollars for the founders, or for the business at least. There's people out there that advertise their courses without the track record YC has, and are charging $1,000, $3,000, $5,000. Influencers out there charging $30,000, $50,000 for things like that. YC library, newsletter, launch YC, work at a startup, which is really cool. Co-founder matching. I've talked to a few potential co-founder partners, but I'm not the easiest to communicate with when it comes to online through this portal. So it's mostly on me. But if you have a startup and you want a co-founder who has high potential, high expectations too, like 50% company equity. For the most part, that's the norm. This would be a great place. Let me see if I have any. Yeah, I mean, you got people from Harvard, MIT, Cornell, Berkeley, HAAS, I'm sure. But anyways, and again, you can apply to YC. Depending on the time of the year, you'll be applying to a certain batch, which is every quarter. And then you meet the deadline, you get selected or not, then you get to apply to the next cohort batch. Find a co-founder. Go back. So my previous startup idea that I pitched was power team contractor, and the quick tag for it was subcontractor marketplace for every services. So think about residential services like window cleaning, roofing, landscaping, house cleaning. So create a service marketplace for everyday services. Essentially, a Facebook marketplace, but for every service, or something along those lines. And if I click on here, you can learn more details. But if you want to be a partner and learn more details about it, hit me up. Again, I was not selected, unfortunately. So, but I'll put the video somewhere down the description so you guys can take a look. Okay, so website intro, we looked at it. We played the VSL letter, video sales letter. Now, what's the power team opportunity? So we build power teams, right? So what's the deep dive or the adaption opportunity for Power Team as a Y Combinator? How do we make Y Combinator into a Power Team startup idea? Hack and repurpose what is out there that we can use as leverage, pitch the opportunity, and feedback. So Y Combinator does a few things. Just thinking in my head, they are a startup accelerator. They have a co-founder match maker. They invest into companies for equity over terms. Terms can mean like equity plus certain conditions. What else? Oh, they have their own social media book face, a spin-off from Facebook. See, like they're doing spin-offs. We can do our own spin-offs. Let's do anything like this. Any of these startup ideas are businesses I would like to start, either with me or you with someone I partner within the Power Teams. The reason it doesn't matter if it's with me or not, if you're part of the Power Teams community, not only will you help leverage the proximity of success for everyone else, but you're also leveraging maybe the opportunity for success in your business, but it also gives us information that might be insights, kind of like what alumni do in YC. So for all those reasons, and there's going to be, from YC, I already thought of 4 things that we can make businesses out of or startups out of. There's probably 10 times more things that we can point out here. And I spent a lot of time listening to Y Combinator videos and trainings and reading their essays and going through the application. So I know that there is a lot of potential ideas out there. But here's another one. You want to 100x that? Create YC companies. So just recreate these companies. Recreate a DoorDash, like a DoorDash Power Team, DD Power Team, or Coinbase, TechBase Power Team, or TechCoin Power Team, Airbnb, RNB Power Team, Room and Bed Power Team, or something. So there's you give it your own name, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you can do a lot of repurposing here. Like I said, these are market leaders because they're unicorns, but there is a market, especially when it's localized. Like there's a huge market to do smaller and medium-sized companies that produce, a few $100,000s to many millions of dollars in revenue. Anyways, so that was me, but I also wanted to ask that same thing to ChatGPT. What are some startup ideas that create YC for Power Teams? Let's see what it says. So what are some startup ideas that recreate YC for Power Teams? Here are Power Team online startup ideas that recreate the Y Combinator model, but adapt to it for local market services, online creators, contractors, and partnership-based startups. Power Team Accelerator, okay. Local or virtual. So let's put that in the startup matrix as local. Power Team Accelerate. A YC style accelerator designed to service businesses, so like Power Team Contractor. Creators, so like YouTubers, or influencers, contractors like GCs, builders, architects, local pros like handyman, small teams powering bigger companies, lead gens companies or agencies, I guess you could say. It says local or virtual, so this can actually be a virtual. So let's also add it to our online. Okay, this becomes YC for Main Street plus online service founders. Powerteam partner matching platform form. Look at that. What up? Exactly what I was thinking about, and this is the first time I typed this in. I see bets on teams, not solo founders. I would think this is something that is both. I mean, it's kind of like it can start off online, but it's gonna end in person. So let's model. YC bets on teams, not solo founders. You build a system that matches people by skills, matches by personality, matches by startup idea, provides role templates. Create 2 to 4 person power teams. This would be awesome. You guys want to help me, or you guys want to do this yourselves? Create a power team partner matching platform. YC co-founder matching plus Bumble plus LinkedIn. I like that. These little X plus Y equals startup idea. Powerteam Startup School, content plus community. Yeah. So structured curriculum like YC Startups School, but built for Powerteam. So let's include this too. Let's make it scalable. So let's put it online. So online can be like the done for you, but then if it's in person, YC Combinator not only gives you 500,000, it flies you out to San Francisco. Powerteam micro funding, service business VC, venture capitalist. Okay, yeah, I feel like this is something that would be online and in person. So be both equally, balanced both ways. You want to invest 5,000 to 20,000 into cleaning teams, painting teams, landscaping teams, contractor power teams, local agency power teams. Perfect. You take 5 to 15% equity or revenue share. Perfect. You become YC for contractor business. This is YC model. Let's do that. If you want to become, let's build this business, man. Let's build this startup. Power team microfunding. Powerteam franchise in a box system, similar to YC structure, but for franchisable service business. This can be really good. Create training, operations manual, brand assets, sales script, software stack, hiring funnel. Yep, definitely need some engineers, developers, and builders for this. Is going to be a service. I feel like it's got to be a service. Powerteam founder pods, small groups. YC uses office hours and group partners, 4 to 6 founders per pod, weekly check-ins, accountability metrics, shared challenges, shared wins, peer support. This becomes a subscription product. Okay, that's pretty cool. For those people that don't feel like gurus but want to help, do kind of like a virtual setup where it's teams, pods of like 4 to 6 founders per pod, or like a classroom of, startups. Powerteam launch agency, done with you. Think YC support plus agency execution. Yeah, that's awesome. This is a service, definitely. I guess it could be hybrid too, doing a lot of marketing for you. Yeah, I don't think it'd just be online though. Brand, website, CRM, automation, marketing campaigns, sales training. You take cash fee or a percentage of your new revenue. Powerteam pitch day, like YC Combinator demo day. So YC, after your cohort is about to end or ends, you get to pitch maybe even hundreds or thousands of venture capitalists or investment groups and investors, and they give you money. And they usually give you like a few minutes to pitch your idea. It'd be cool to have something for smaller services like a Powerteam pitch day for your city, your local community. And this becomes something that gets traction, and now startups and existing businesses want to do their launch with you. They want to, and you get to, be the environment or the event for this. So let's make this a service. Powerteam University certification model. Okay, so this is kind of like a course, I feel like. YC provides validation by acceptance. Powerteam provides validation by certification. I like that. Look at that. Join Powerteam now, but if you don't get the certificate, you're not a true Powerteam partner. Certified Powerteam founders, partner, operator, sales lead. Okay. Gotcha. Or you want a partner, but if he's not certified, he might not be up to par. Powerteam Studio Creator plus Startup Hub. YC creates unicorns. You create Powerteam creators plus micro startups. I like that. This YouTube channel, this new YouTube startup or channel can become a Powerteam startup within the Powerteam Studio, if it makes sense. So if you want to have a YouTube channel, you would join this Powerteam Studio and you will get trained on how to do all these things, record, recorded founder journeys, YouTube documents, breakdown videos, behind the scenes coaching, public lunch challenges. I was thinking more like you're kind of trained or given some sort of development for influencing, public speaking, public relations, all those things, virality, all that situation. So I'm gonna say this is a hybrid. Some things you might want to do in person, like how to do an event presentation. Combined vision, all 10 ideas stacked together, the Powerteam Accelerator ecosystem. That's cool. This becomes a multi-9-figure brand if executed well. You want to be part of a 9-figure brand if executed well? Let's do it. If you can see, even one single partner in any of these startup ideas can become a great opportunity for you. So I'll drop this Google Docs in the video description so you guys can check it out later. Maybe build something or just bounce some ideas in the company for Powerteam. You need a partner that can make the product and service and a partner that can sell the product or service. So who's the seller? Usually is also the startup idea visionary. And the builder or the maker is sort of behind the scenes, creating it, developing it. Maybe there's code involved. Maybe there's other things involved, expertise and skilled services. Like if you want to do a marketing agency, anybody knows that marketing agencies work. You create websites, you create ads, you buy ads for other people, you get other people leads, you'll make money. And that's essentially marketing. But maybe you need somebody that helps you on the back end with creating those websites, making those ads, paying a system to pay for people's ads at 100 accounts at a time. Create video assets, create IP, flyers, printables, snail mail, postcards, all sorts of things, QR codes, mini chat links, or things like that. Very, very technical. I'm not a technical guy, but I know my way. So can you sell it? Will you be able to sell it? And if it's your vision, then I believe you can. I believe you can. You just need the right power team, the right founder, the right partner to help you build it, And if you're the business idea and you're the developer, maybe you want to have a seller, somebody that can market and sell for you. While you build those websites, have somebody that will sell them for you, which will be pretty cool. Like you work at a job, maybe you're not the salesperson. Let's get you connected with a salesperson that can bring you business, and you do what you do best, and that's create product, services, and volume. And you double down. So this fits very well together. So can you build any of these, and can you sell it? Pitch. So Paul, he's kind of known as the godfather of startups, especially when it comes to unicorn companies, $1 billion plus evaluations, or $100 million annual revenue. So how are you gonna pitch it? Let's say you want to become a marketing agency. Well, let's help you pitch. So help me pitch my. Let's pick out one of these. I like this one. Help me pitch Powerteam Startup School startup idea. So below is a crisp, persuasive pitch for Powerteam Startup, written in YC style. Awesome. You can use this pitch for YouTube videos, websites, investor conversations, recruiting co-founders, landing pages, demo days, social media. Powerteam Startup School, the pitch. The problem: most people who want to start a business never start, not because they lack ideas, but because they lack partners, guidance, systems, and support. The hardest part of starting up is doing everything alone. No co-founder, no accountability, no clear roadmap, no access to resources, no team to balance skills, your sales, operations, tech, marketing. And that's why 80% of solo founders fail. YC almost never accepts solo founders for the same reason. I like that. The insight: great startups are built by great teams. YC does it at the tech founder level, but nobody does it for service business, creators, local contractors, small online businesses, first-time founders. There is no startup school designed to build teams first, then business. So let's build a team first. So one thing about Powerteam is we are going to build a 2-person project to validate and find product market fit. So definitely apply to become a Powerteam partner member. Keep watching these videos, and find the form to join the power teams opportunities, whether that's your company, your startup, that you're looking for people, you want to join someone else's startup, or you already have a startup and you want to um, see what's out there, what talent is out there. So we build teams first and then business. I like that. The solution: Powerteam School. Powerteam Startup School, a YC inspired launch platform that helps anyone build a startup with a team, not alone. Powerteam Startup School combines partner matching, weekly accountability, curriculum, tools and templates, coaching, real world assignments, launch deadlines into a 10 to 12 week accelerator designed for service based online and local startup teams. It is the first school that trains founders together, not alone, and helps them form a power team around their idea. What we provide: one, power team matching system. We match founders based on skills, personality, work style, startup interest, commitment level. This forms 2 to 4 person power teams with balanced strengths: sales, operations, marketing, finance. To the power team roadmap: a clear 3 stage system inspired by YC but adapted for real world power teams. Build, validate, launch. Yes. Includes templates for um, offers, pricing, sales scripts, marketing, funnels, operations, agreements, roles, and responsibilities. Weekly live workshops and accountability. Founders meet each week to present progress, get feedback, remove roadblocks, receive new tools, build momentum. We, re- we recreate the office hours structure of YC, but simpler and more accessible. So yes, let's do that. If you guys want me to start um, creating these office hours, I think I could manage, initiating first, like in the evenings, for an hour or two, or a couple hours. Do office hours where people would just come, power team members would just come, and we bounce things off each other, and look for that networking effect where we join other startups, build our startup, or present problems and cases, or if it becomes such a big thing, we can have other people become the office hours people. Like you can join, uh, partner Smith, partner Ramirez, partner Gonzalez, partner XYZ, office hours. Like we can create the cohort similarities with YC, which would be really cool, especially if you are a mentor who has entrepreneurial knowledge, like almost like a guru. Like you just don't sell the courses. You're actually a real deal. Like please help us out. Startup tools bundle. Power teams get proposal templates, startups, CRM setups, contractor agreements, scripts, pitch decks, SOPs, branding frameworks, funnels, everything needed to launch fast. Power team launch day. At the end of the program, teams pitch their business, their roles, their plan, their first customers. This creates clarity, confidence, and momentum. Nice. Business model. Revenue streams include tuition, online or in-person cohorts, certification programs, premium tools and templates, partner matching subscriptions, accelerator equity, revenue share, local power team franchise opportunities. This becomes a scalable multi-vertical ecosystem. So talk about being part of a huge brand or association, like be part of this club. Like you try to build a home service business and you're part of no club. You're like suffering from everything around you. Make it easier on yourself and do things with other people. It's okay. Let's try sharing for once. Let's try being humble and let's try working together. Who is it for? First time founders, service providers wanting to scale, contractors wanting a business partner, creators wanting business structure, corporate professionals ready to escape the 9 to 5, anyone wanting to build with a team instead of alone. Why we win. Powerteam Startups solves the root problem. People don't fail because the idea is bad. They fail because they don't have a team. YC has proven for over 20 years that the teams outperform solo founders. We bring that model to the other 99% of founders. Local service pro, contractors, creators, small agencies, online entrepreneurs. No one else is doing that at this scale. Like, self-sustaining model, like a infinity loop. A local service pro can get jobs from a contractor, who can get marketing leads from a content creator, who can be part of a small agency, who can create a online entrepreneurship platform like business assets, and IP. Like they all kind of interconnect. It's like amazing. Killer one-liner. Powerteam Startup School helps founders build their startup with partners, not alone, using a YC-inspired system adapted for services and online businesses. Yes. If you're pitching in person or in video, use this script. Okay, so let's see. Pretend I'm looking at you. Most people fail to start a business because they try to do it alone. Y Combinator only works because it builds teams, gives them a roadmap, and holds them accountable. Powerteam Startup School brings that model to everyday entrepreneurs, contractors, creators, service pros, and online founders, and helps them form power teams that actually launch. We provide the people, the framework, the tools, the momentum. It's the first founder school that builds teams first, then businesses. I love that. Freaking love that. Want me to create next? I can generate any of the following 60-second YouTube pitch. Nope. This is good. I love it. So in real time, you guys saw how we can potentially create a startup. If I put here, you're a local service and you do paint work, because I've done paint services before. Commercial, but let's put residential. Help me create a power team, a startup. Let's go. Help me create a startup for Powerteam painting home services. So think about what you want to create your startup, and here it is. Powerteam painting home services, a partner-based painting company designed for speed, quality, and scalability. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time. So yes, we can do that. Feedback, YouTube description. So I'll put some stuff in the description. Make sure you guys comment on your ideas of this video or anything I put on the description. Google form as a signal of interest. So I'll create a Google form for this specific video. This is a cool video. You guys go on a rabbit hole, like spend some time, explore YC, their YouTube channel, their videos, their website, this video. Use Chat GPT to do some of your own research dialogue and learn it, and see how Powerteam or how Y Combinator can be a model that you want to hack. Like how can you hack it and create your own? How do you business hack YC into something that you have for your own? Maybe that's your startup idea, but again, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something totally different. Possible startup ideas, we went through that. Possible building maker roles. So if you're an engineer, or you're an IT, or you are a product or service developer, possible partnerships. Yes, so if any of these ideas or even more that you can think of lit a light bulb in your head, find me, like comment below and go through the survey, and let's connect, let's chat, let's maybe start these office hours and build power teams together. Quote of the day: do things that don't scale. And that's by Paul again. He's one of the Y Combinator founding partners. Analogy: for want of a nail. Let's see what ChatGPT creates for us. Oh, it's a proverb. For want of a nail. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, a rider was lost. For want of a rider, a battle was lost. For want of a battle, a kingdom fell. And for the want of a nail. Okay, why come? So that's kind of like the original proverb. For wanting something as insignificant and as small as a nail, you can actually lose the kingdom. There's a battle, there's a shoe, there's something that happened, there's an order of consequence, like second order consequences, third order consequence, things that just happened, and eventually the nation fell, or the kingdom. For want of a co-founder, the idea never launched. For want of a launch, the customers never came. For want of a customers, the product never improved. For want of improvement, the startup never grew. For want of growth, the founding never arrived. For want of founding, the company never survived. All for the want of a co-founder. And with that, we close this deep dive and adaptation segment of the video. So while I was doing some research for this, so this is post data, putting some thoughts on paper, and this is kind of what I wanted to bring out. I've been consuming a lot of Y Combinator content over the past, I think, 2-3 years. Here's some things I want to kind of point out. These are some of my takeaways. What are the common denominators? Founding partners and partners. are common denominators. Partners with the idea and a partner who's the builder or the maker. Online and new age startup ideas with $1 billion potentials. So not only are most of their startups online based, but they are a new age potential, a $1 billion potential. A $500,000 immediate funding investment for 7% plus equity. That's common through all their startups that they accept. Startup founders want to do great things with their business company and lives. They must make things people want to buy and make a lot of money. Do you want to make things people want to buy and make a lot of money? What is the reason for living? Will you stand up? Tell us your name and your dream. What is the reason for living? Is happiness the reason for living? Is freedom the reason for living? Is wealth the reason for living? Is love the reason for living? Is health the reason for living? Is debt free and ownership the reason for living? Is transcending legacy the reason for living? Achieving your dreams are the reason for living. I don't know if you can achieve your dreams alone, but I do know you can achieve them with other people. Can you really achieve freedom alone? Can you really achieve wealth alone? Can you really achieve love alone? Can you really achieve debt-free and ownership alone? Can you really achieve health alone? Can you really achieve a good family and friends alone? Can you really achieve a transcending legacy alone? Guys, I'm sick of unable to make my dreams come true. It seems like every year things get harder and harder. It seems like we're going downhill. And I don't mean the forces of nature, the forces of things we can't control specifically. I mean that for whatever reason, this common denominator, people, helping each other, can really help us achieve our dreams. Let's not be strangers. Let's build a community together. Build your community. I want to build a community. I'm tired of doing things alone. That's why I started this YouTube channel. I want to be with people who have high dreams, who want to achieve great things, who want to be extraordinary. Let's not stay compliant, stagnant. Let's not stay boring. I want to run. I want to scream. I want to build things I look forward to getting up in the morning. I'm tired of living a limited life, not just with money, but with time freedom, with relationships. I need to have better friends. I need to have a bigger circle. I need a better social life. We all need something that is keeping us from achieving our dreams. Let's bend the knee and just bet on not doing it alone. Thank you. With that, I'll let you go, and I hope to hear back from you, or I hope to see you, and I definitely hope to meet you. Let's build power teams.